Hello folks, how you doing? This is quite a basic video. I'm just going to show you what's on my 3DS. We've had this console for about 12 years now, I think it is. It was my sister's old one she got when she was about 10 years old. I've essentially just nicked it over the last few years. I've always enjoyed using the DS. I have still my old DS Lite sat on one of these shelves over here. I love portable games. I've got a Switch, I've got a Game Boy Advance. But for my travelling that I'm doing in about a couple of weeks' time, I thought I'd take this thing with me. I kind of just wanted like a single-purpose entertainment device. I know I've got my phone, and that's great. I've got my music on there, I've got books on there, etc., etc. But I've just been trying to just like be off my phone the last few months or so. And I think having the Nintendo be my entertainment device instead of always being on my phone means I'm sort of less distracted. I'm less likely to go into Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook or any of the like dopamine attracting apps, if that makes sense. So yeah, on this thing, which I will get into in a second, I've got my books, I've got some movies, I've got a bunch of games in there, and yeah, let's see what it's about. Here we are, this is the device. As you can see here, we've got a few bits and bobs on here. I'll start from the top and I'll work my way across. For the start, we've got sort of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. The only games I've put on here for Game Boy Advance and Game Boy is Pokemon Silver and Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Now, before we sort of get fully into it, I have to say I don't enjoy having everything being all cluttered up. I'd like to just use games that I'm actually going to use rather than putting everything on there. Like I see these 3DS tours and they've got like all the Zelda games on there, all the Harvest Moon games on there, all the Pokemon games on there. And if they're going to use all those games, fantastic, great, do it, put them all on there. But I'm kind of just putting on games that I think I'm actually going to end up playing. I mean, if I want to put on more, I can just, load them on, quote unquote. So yeah, anyways, carrying on. We've got the Game Boy folder, we've got the Homebrew stuff folder, which essentially has everything I need in here. So I'll start from the top. We've got Homebrew Launcher, which has got like an emulators and a few other bits and pieces on there. Also, by the way, when I say Homebrew, it essentially just means modding it. This is how you sort of, change it up, essentially. I put some of these other cool things on there. We've got FBI, which again is a kind of file thing, which you need if you've got it homebrewed. Checkpoint is pretty cool. It means you can sort of back up your saves. So say you've got a copy of Pokemon Y, for example, a random game of choice here, that you want to use on your 3DS, but you don't want to use a save you've had for about 10 years. You can back it up on the checkpoint and then restart it on the 3DS, but you've still got all your old Pokemon saved off, if that kind of makes sense. We've now got Anemone, the 3DS theme manager, which I am going to show you actually, because I do really like Anemone, and I do want to show you some of the themes I've got on here. So I'll show you, we've got Cowboy Bebop theme, which has the music, but I won't play it because of the copyright. We've got an Espeon theme, because I do really like Espeon. Persona 3, I'm a big fan of the Persona games. Piplup from the Sea Gear. Glaceon and Sylveon, which I think is very, very cute. Sailor Moon, which is my current theme. I've been watching a fair bit of Sailor Moon recently, and I do quite like it. It's 90s anime, it's pretty chilled out. Yeah, it's good. Stardew Valley, I played loads of Stardew Valley a few years ago, and I still really love the game. Testament from Guilty Gear Strive. Now, I have not played much Strive, but I fucking love the artwork from it. So, Testament gets to be one of the themes here. Professor Layton, again, fantastic collection of games. I'll probably end up loading some onto this 3DS. I've got, some of the old cartridges are around here as well. Bear with me. Yeah, here we are, if the camera could focus. Yeah, there you are. Professor Layton, The Curious Village. One of my favourite games of all time. That and Pandora's Box. Anyways, moving on. This video's a bit all over the place, but that's fine. And then I think finally we have, there we are, a Rosalina theme. I fucking love Mario Galaxy. Rosalina is one of the best side characters in any of the Mario games, in my opinion. So yeah, we got Rosalina in there. That is the themes. Let me exit from here now. Perfect. We then have Luma, again, just comes with the homebrew stuff. HateShop, where you can load on 3DS games. Essentially, it's the eShop now that the eShop has been sort of discontinued. I won't tell you where to find HateShop, but you do have Google, so go from there. Universal Updater, again, gets you some few more apps for the 3DS. Twilight Menu lets you load your DS games on. 3D Shell is essentially a file manager, so I don't have to plug the SD card in every single time I want to change files. Cool, and that's that folder. Undesirable is all like the basic apps that come with a 3DS that you can't get rid of. Kind of don't need to go too much through those. Onto the games though. So, I'll start at the top here. Puyo Puyo Tetris, I really fucking love. I'm a big Tetris fan anyways. And the Puyo Puyo games, I'm not too familiar with them, but I do enjoy them. So, bells and whistles, I think that's really, really fun. The Ace Attorney trilogy, again, is really, really cool. I've not played much of the Ace Attorney.
but I have seen quite a few videos on it, and I think, you know what, I've got long flights ahead of me, I've got backpacking through God knows where, I may as well put the Ace Attorney games in there. Harvest Moon, I've never played the Harvest Moon games, but I have heard they're fantastic, and I do like Stardew Valley, so they should be quite similar to that. I had to put a Star Wars game on there as well, like a Star Wars 3. This is one of the Star Wars games that I haven't actually played too much of. I played the complete saga to Hell and Back, and I played a bit of this on the Wii when it came out, but that's kind of it really. 3D Movie Maker. Now this is actually quite fun, which I will show you. Essentially, it's a way of, as you can see, just putting your movies on there. And the ones I've got so far is Can Focus, Believe It Can, Akira, Kiki's Delivery Service, Porco Rosso, and Sailor Moon R. You can either convert your movies to the file format, which I believe is MoFlex, or there's some sites you can just get pre-downloaded movies that are on there already. So, we'll close that off. There we are. I'm using this hand to do everything. I have my right hand available. I am playing as a tripod here, and it is a bit difficult to get to it, but, you know, we're here now. This is quite cool, actually. DS Libris. This, as you can see, is an e-reader. Now, I'm a big fan of books, so hopefully I have Sense and Sensibility over here. I'm a massive reader, and I want to find a way of e-reading without being on my phone. And I didn't want to buy a Kobo or a Kindle, because Amazon doing some really dodgy stuff with Kindle at the moment, which I'm not a fan of, not letting you download your books, and I didn't want to spend £80 on Kobo. So, my middle ground was get an e-reader on it, if it would actually load. Just bear with me. There we are. Right, now it's loaded. So if I rotate it this way slightly, you can see I've got a bunch of different books on here now. Secret History, The Quick Start, Normal People, Norwegian Wood. So a lot of my favourite books are on here as well. Notably, I have the Lord of the Rings book on there, which is pretty cool. So all I have to do is I have to just open a book. So say if I pick Norwegian Wood by Murakami, press A, it opens a book, and bear with it, it takes its sweet time. It is a full-fledged e-reader. I press the buttons or I tap screen and I can go through the entire book, which is really cool. I'm a big fan of this form factor. I can just hold it like this and press the buttons or tap the screen, go backwards, go forwards, and it's completely fine. So that's really, really cool. Of course, obviously settings in there. The 3DS camera is pretty cool. Takes some pretty cool photos. Try it out yourselves. I might show a couple on the screen if I've bothered to take any photos or not. But yeah, that's pretty cool, the 3DS camera. It's very unique. It's old school. I think... I remember a few years ago, I went to a concert in London, and some guy was using a 3DS to take photos of the singers. So, there you go, cool story for you. Street Fighter 4, I'm kind of a Street Fighter fan, as in, I like the artwork, I think it's really cool. I'm just too shit at the game to do anything about it. Like, I'm really bad at combo fighters. I like Smash, I play a fair bit of Smash, I played Rivals of Aether, that's a good game to be fair. I'm trying to learn Street Fighter, and I'll get there, it's just taking me time. So that's that. I have Mario Kart 7 on here, you gotta have Mario Kart on it at some point. 3D Land, which is pretty cool, and one that I've never played before is Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth. Now, I'm a big fan of Persona 4 Golden, and I played most of Persona 3 Portable. I didn't end up finishing it in the end. And I thought, you know what, here's a game on the 3DS that seems to marry both of these things together. Fuck it, Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth, let's go. That's kind of it, to be honest with you. I do have some SNES games on here as well, so I'll quickly show you those to you now. I've got Link to the Past, I've got a Sailor Moon game that I've not tried yet, but I've heard it's fantastic. Super Mario World, and then Super Metroid, and they do run, so if I just press Link to the Past, and here you are, the Triforce is loading, Link to the Past starts. Bada bing, bada bing.
But yeah, that's kind of it for the 3DS tool, to be honest with you. I think it's a fantastic console. If you have a chance, I'd recommend picking them up. They go for like, I want to say the older models that I've got is about £60, so about maybe like $80 I think. That might be like a complete guess, but the ones I've seen are around the £60 to £100 mark. So I'd recommend picking one up. I guess other portable games, other portable systems I'd recommend. The PSP is supposed to be fantastic, so I'd recommend getting that. And the PS Vita is supposed to be really good too. I mean, it's mainly a question of what do you prefer, what form factor do you prefer? So for me, I personally really enjoy this form factor. I can play like this on the bus, I've been playing on Tetris. I can e-read on it like a book. And also the important thing is I had it already, which was like a massive part of it. I didn't have to spend like 50 quid. But yeah, that's kind of that really. As you can see, this is the first video on this channel as well. I hope to make similar things to this like at least once a week, every couple of weeks. This is just something that I want to do for fun. I enjoy making content. I am a freelance writer at the moment, i.e. that means I'm unemployed. No, I'm joking. This just sort of complements it really. I get to talk about things that I really enjoy, like video games, and music and stuff that wouldn't normally fit long articles. I can do in video form, and this just sort of lets me do that. So yeah, if you think you'll enjoy what you're going to see on here, stick around, subscribe if you'd like to. Obviously, you don't have to. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this very chaotic video. Have a good day, guys. I'll catch you later. Peace.